So we're just picking up where we left off. The valve cover is already disconnected and ready to go. We got rid of one cam. Now it's time to get rid of the next cam. It's a 10mm socket. And we're gonna break this loose. Oh man, they're on tight. Oh. Right here on all of the camshaft caps is stamped a number, and that number tells which position the caps go in. They're not interchangeable. This cap can only go here, this one can only go here. This is cap 1 here, E1 specific, that's what it says is E1. Oh, hey, you can see it focused. I've never had this camera focus. This one would be E2, this would be E3 here, and this is E4. And then up here, these caps, let me see what these are called. Oh, okay, so those caps, these caps are called, whoops, I4. That is I4 there. And that cap goes right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's from the clutch side of the motor to the flywheel side. And I is towards the carburetors. E is towards the drive shaft. When you're taking off the camshaft, make sure none of the cam lobes are actually in contact with the buckets. Because if they are, then the valve springs are going to be pushing up on the camshaft, and it's going to make it really difficult to remove these bolts on the bearing caps. I don't think it would be good for the cam to try to loosen it under the tension of the valve springs. So now I loosened all the bolts. Always label your bags. These screws here, I didn't put in a bag and I have no idea what they're for. Alright, we're taking off the last cap here. She's stuck on a little bit. Should pop right off. There we go. Whoops. And, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my gosh. Alright, so all this time, I've been wondering, what are these funny little holes in the camshaft? Why did the camshaft have these holes? You would think it would do better to be solid, right? It'd be stronger. And so I was thinking, well, maybe the holes fill up with oil and help lubricate the bearing surfaces or something like that. This is how I figured it out. You'll see, this is a camshaft bearing cap. It's got a hole in the top of it and a little rubber thing. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, whoop, there we go. Little rubber thing you can pull off. And I'm wondering, what is that for? What could this possibly be for? And now I see that hole lines up with this hole in the camshaft. The head bolts, which are what I'm trying to get at all this time, is the head bolts. All I had to do was rotate it like this, and now I'll be able to stick this down through there and access the head bolts. I didn't have to take the camshaft off. Oh, well, update. It turns out I wasn't actually stupid after all, because this chain that originally went around the two cams, that would block the heads from coming off. So the next step is removing this cam. We need to make sure this chain does not fall in the engine. What we need to do is we need to find a piece of rope or something. Well, let's see. I don't see any wires. Oh, barbed wire. Hopefully we got something better than barbed wire. I'm just going to use a piece of wood, and that'll keep it from falling inside. I don't want to mix up the rear cam with the front cam. So this is the exhaust cam we're working with, and it's not the same as the intake cam. Alright, well, this Allen key is the exact tool for removing this head nut here. I'm obviously not going to turn it with my fingers. I have a cheat bar that I'm bringing in. Oh man, they're on tight. Oh man, they're on tight. Oh, I don't want to break anything. I did end up getting this loose. I think there's a certain pattern you're supposed to undo these bolts, and to tell you the truth, I'm not actually sure what that pattern is. I'm planning on going this one here, then this one here, and then this one here, and then I'm gonna do this one, this one, this one, and this one. You know, if this was somebody else's bike, I'd be looking all this stuff up. And I think it's more important for when you're actually torquing the bolts down than it is for when you're taking them off. And if you're wondering, no, this is absolutely not the right way to do this. So I don't have any Allen key sockets, and that would be the right tool for this job. I pulled this thing out of a junkyard. I'm not really too worried about it. Then again, I shouldn't say that. I do care about it. I spent hard-earned cash on it, and I'm not planning on breaking anything. Oh man, these things are on tight. So this is actually the last one here. There we go. Stuck in a pit of oil in there. Let's see if I can get it out. Oh, there she is. Okay, I will transfer that over to a safe location. That's not it. Let's go get a bag. I just took this one's head nut out, and this washer came out with it. Yeah, this is E4. I don't know if the other ones have one in. I don't see any washers in there, so I think E4 has a washer for some reason. I'm not sure why. So this is it, the last head nut, and we'll finally see the bores on this thing. Determine if it is fixable. I've been waiting for 3 weeks for this. I've never actually removed heads before. Might do the old block of wood trick. Just give it a few good wraps with the block of wood. Did I get everything off? Yeah, all the nuts are off. The intake manifold is still on. That's keeping the heads from being removed. Folding Allen keys, they're really underrated. I mean, these things are great. If it weren't for this, I would definitely not have this thing off right now. I'm sure there's better. Maybe a T-handle Allen key would be even better. I don't have any of those. Huh. There's an intake manifold and an intake manifold screw, which will go in the intake manifold screw bag. That's how we roll. There's some heavy duty corrosion inside there. So I'm gonna set you guys up with a tripod. Lower it down so you can see the action as it happens. I'm going for a more prying technique. Oh man, that oil is soaking out and making a big old mess. I'm gonna stuff a paper towel in there, help clean that up. Something to protect the case, the engine block. Then I'm just gonna kind of gently pry up. Oh, okay, something's still holding it on. I'm not sure what it is though. I don't think it's this. Oh man, this is harder than I thought. I mean, I guess I didn't expect them to just fall right off. And there's nothing to pull. It's like they're just on there. Just welded on or something. Good lord, how do we get this off? It should be noted that there is a small bolt on the back. The ground nut is connected to the heads. Take your 22mm socket and get that off of there. Ooh, that is a hefty bolt. Oh, that's like solid copper. Wow. Okay, maybe that was holding it on. Oh yeah, these seem really loose now. Oh yeah, they're coming off. I can feel it. It's happening. It's happening. Oh yeah, she's happening. It's like giving birth. Finally get to see, after all these months, what was inside. Okay, so I just want to show the situation. Oh man, it's nasty in there. I got the heads almost all the way off, but it is a nasty mess. Valves jammed open. Oh, this is a... Okay, I'm going to try to get these the rest of the way off. It's looking really bad. By the way, I'm sticking this piece of wood in here to keep the chain from falling in. Yeah, there seems to be a cross member inside the heads that are preventing the chain from falling inside. We might be able to find the master link if this chain has a master link, and we can just separate the chain then. The heads have been removed. My suspicions have been confirmed. The cylinder bores are completely just rusted to smithereens. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of this. Look at that nasty, that is just disgusting. I hope I don't drop any of that in the cooling. Yeah, so this is definitely gonna require reboring or something like that. And this is, believe it or not, the better cylinder. The walls are not entirely caked with rust on this one. They're at least a little bit good. Somewhat acceptable. Maybe I could bore that out and hone that out. But then just come over and see this one. This one is a disgusting mess. Yeah, I don't even know if there's hope for something like this. I truly don't know. I know that's not showing up in the camera. This, by the way, is the oil that I put in there to loosen up the cylinders. I didn't know that they were entirely caked in rust. Most people would consider this hopeless. I really want this thing to work. Yeah, look at that. Do you see how much rust is in there? It is just packed with rust. Yeah. Okay. So right now the heads can't actually be separated from the engine because they're hanging on the cam chain still, which I haven't figured out how to get off yet because the cam chain is connected to the heads via this strange cross member. I've looked more into the pistons. I think this might have hope. Sorry, that's not showing up on camera right now, but I think we might be able to hit these with a block of wood and at least partially unseize the engine. And if we can get the pistons out of there, then we might be able to wire wheel the rust off the cylinder walls and then hone them back down to an acceptable finish. But ultimately we're probably going to have to re-sleeve this and just fix this up the right way, because I don't want to constantly be dealing with the issues associated with as much wear as this thing has seen. I mean, this engine has so much potential. It's a muscle engine. You know, it's a muscle car engine that fit in a motorcycle. And it's just such a cool engine. I want this thing to work out. You don't see these too often. They're not extremely common, but everybody that has them loves them because they're so cool.